babies, it's that time again. Oh yeah. What's happening? I'm supposed to be in Genesis, but I decided to skip it, and I was going to go into the Gospel of Jesus the Christ, and I forgot to do that. So we're just going to see what God is saying. What is God saying? God is saying He loves it when we come to Him. When we look to Him for the answers to our longings. Not questions. In fact, I know some people advocate, when you want to answer to something, or you need an answer, set time away to pray and focus on God, and don't stop until you get your answer. I don't like that. Number one, it assumes that God is gonna put aside whatever it is He's doing all around the world, which obviously that's mind-boggling. How that's even possible. But if you're God, I guess you can. And that He would put that aside so that you could get the answer to your question. I just no. To me, that's way too hocus pocus. That's way too genie in the bottle-ish. And I never get the sense that that's something that blesses His heart. No. So, I don't do that. And I've talked before about this. I just treat it as anything that's unanswered that you would like an answer to. Just trust Him for the communication to be timely. And just leave it at that. And that sort of answers my original question here today. What does God want right now? What does God want to do? That's what He wants. He wants to see us trusting Him to take care of us as the God He is faithful to be. Who has given us His own dear Son to be the very means of connecting us forever. And not only just connecting, but being the means by which we can share in His essence. And we can see the sun is really challenging me this morning. Okay. Normally I don't go this way, but if you recall, my usual route has been shut down because of building a bridge, a small bridge in Northford, Connecticut. Small bridge repair. Not going to be fixed until December. So, that forces me into the sun at this time of day. So it will be useful that I will not be traveling this route much after a week from now because I'll be on vacation. Alright, so that's a little reprieve right there. I always get the sense that God is ultimately blessed by us believing Him to be the generous God that He is, so much so that when we trust Him for what we need, He is faithful to provide it. And if that means an answer to a question we have, then He'll take care of that. But I just think it's terribly presumptive to think we're in a relationship with Him that presupposes an answer to any question we have. I just find that supremely obnoxious. But yet, people will, they will just teach that like it's irrefutable. And I'm thinking, well, what kind of answers are you getting? When you're demanding an answer from God, what kind of answers are you getting? Are you really coming away from those situations with what's happening? Are you projecting that somehow that you're getting the answer that you want? I just don't. It's baffling to me. Speaking of which, it's baffling to me that people can be so deceived as to think that's an appropriate process. No. Be one with God and just be about His business. What is His business? His business is loving. Oh yeah, baby. So how do you love? How do you define love? Love is serving other people. Love is helping other people take their next best step of growth. That's love, baby. And you don't need to get on your knees and ask God, do you want me to love today? No. That's what He does. That's who He is. You just have to get out of His way and let Him do it. Basically. Yeah. So, how about loving yourself, right? Jesus says that we have to love others as much as we love ourselves. Well, how is that done exactly? Same thing. We make choices in our lives that are the best decisions for our optimal growth. Yeah, baby. And that's how you love yourself. And that's what you do for other people. The end. And what's interesting about that, it's endless. Because that energy just is, oh my gosh, it's indescribable, right? It's like a It's like a McCoy Tyner piano solo, like explosive and going in all kinds of adventurous and beautiful ways. And every time you hear it, it sounds new. Oh yeah,